Alrighty, so on to Chile. So I was telling you leaving Oruro was the only paved route down to Chile. I was headed to a place called Arica, which was at sea level. And Oruro, I think, was like 11,000 feet or 12,000 feet. So very interesting drive. And when you, as I was mentioning, when you leave Oruro, you end up at 15,000 feet at the border where you have to turn your car off. Sometimes when you're at that elevation and you park, the car won't start again. And to compound this, it was like an 8-hour drive. And additionally, as I told you in Uyuni, my stomach took a nosedive again. So for example, the morning I'm leaving Oruro, I have my toothbrush and I'm brushing my teeth. I didn't eat breakfast, I'm brushing my teeth, and even brushing my teeth, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Just from like having that in my mouth. I have to drive 8 hours up to 15,000 feet and down to sea level. And yeah, I was a little bit thinking today is gonna be crazy. So anyway, I got to the border. On the way there, you get to see some amazing scenery. These snow-capped peaks right by the border, super high altiplano, like 15,000. But yeah, when I get to the border, the officials were a little more serious. They were cool. They were like joking with me. Who's this crazy Canadian in his car driving to South America? But they like went through my bags and they had a scanner actually. So I could feel Chile sort of stepping up the level of infrastructure and development, even though up there you wouldn't know it because it's this like altiplano, barren landscape, whatever, right? So the road's good, as they said it would be, until I crossed the border. Then when I crossed the border to Chile, I don't know, for like 30 kilometers there's construction, so it's all potholed and like not good. But I made it, it was okay, it just went slow. And on that drive, it was amazing. You, like I say, you're like 15,000 feet and you just make your way down to sea level. So there's some amazing, amazing views of like winding down these descents. And I think I have some footage of that. Just kind of coming around these curves back down to the desert, the true desert, from that altiplane, sort of like super high elevation zone up there. And so that is some interesting footage on the descent. And in Arica, I took 2 nights because I knew I needed to fix my stomach. So like the first night I get there, it's this like kind of like weird carnival town on the beach, super hot because it's sea level. And I'm loving it, but my room is really hot. And for some reason, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have some pineapple juice with dinner, because pineapple juice is really acidic and sometimes it can help your stomach. So I get back to my room, and of course I'm going to the bathroom a lot because my stomach's destroyed. And I go to bed, and I'm like, okay, hopefully I'll feel better in the morning. I probably have to go to the hospital and get some medication. Wake up in the middle of the night, and for like the first time since 1998, other than in Asheville, when I ran too hard one day and kind of had a little bit of spittle, puke, the first time since 1998, I actually had a true, like, vomit. I never vomit, even though my stomach's very sensitive, but I threw up. I was like, okay, I definitely needed to go to the hospital. So I found the hospital. They were super cool. Finally gave me actual ciprofloxacin, which is what you need if you have traveler's stomach. So that patched me up pretty good, and from there on, I was fine. Well, for about another year or so, or 5 or 6 months. So yeah, I have some video in Arica, sort of the interesting where the ocean meets the desert, meets this weird sort of like carnival-esque little city. Not little, but whatever. Then I headed down to Iquique, which is also on the ocean, also very desert. And Chile's really interesting. It has like this highway number 5. So all the towns are on the ocean, but then you come up off the ocean up to about 3,000 feet, and you can just bomb on the highway. Like it's flat, straight, just you can go like 110 kilometers an hour, no problem. You can go faster, but you don't want to kill your car. So I had a lot of time to kind of think in that open desert scape there. I probably have some footage of that as well. And on the way to Iquique, it kind of comes down by the ocean as well at points, so you can see some cool little desert beach towns on the way. And I stopped there in Iquique, and I actually went for a swim. The water was nowhere near as warm as Costa Rica, but first time in the ocean in a while, so that was super cool. Quite a developed city, like high rises, skyscrapers. I have some footage of that, some footage along the ocean. and a nice little sunset shot from a restaurant. But after Iquique, I needed to get back up to elevation because I was going to go see San Pedro de Atacama for two reasons. One, they have Valley of the Moon, which is unbelievable. You'll see a video of that as we go along. And they also have the Atacama space telescopes, the highest telescopes in the world, which I did a degree in physics and astronomy at university, and I always kind of wanted to see. So I went there as well, but we'll get there.